That's not something that we should tolerate. The reason I say that is because we're giving away our freedom, giving away our privacy, giving away our right to trial by having these types of acts enabled, these types of laws that allow us to have citizens attacked, put in prison, detained, jailed, whatever, for, even killed, if you look at the parts of the Patriot Act, without any trial whatsoever, which is completely wrong. That violates everything that we started this country on. You need to go to trial. Now, if somebody's doing direct violence, we need to stop them. Get them done. If they're actively doing something violent towards somebody, put them down. It makes total sense, Can't stop them then. But no, you don't just go send drones after people and kill them and they ain't doing anything. That's wrong, all right? So that's how I feel about that. We should never give up our essential liberty for temporary safety, okay? I think that's Ben Franklin. Excuse me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me, okay? Like I said, no editing here. So I think it's Ben Franklin that said that. But, yeah, we shouldn't give up our liberty for safety, ever, okay? Never. There's never a good time to do that. Last subject I kind of want to cover today isn't a principle, but instead it's a truth that springs up controversy every time it's talked about. Now, laugh, agree, whatever you want to do, but taxation is theft, okay? That's a lot of people are like, that's crazy, what do we do without taxes, more roads, stuff like that. And I get that, okay? But at the same time, you got to think about it from this perspective. You can't take people's money without their signed consent, all right? And you can't say, well, that's your parents' fault before they decided to have you born here and be a U.S. citizen. That's bullshit. That's bull, all right? That's not right. Think about that for a second. You're saying just because I was born that somehow that's my consent? No, consent's not automatic. You need a yes or a no. You need somebody's damn signature, okay? That's the crappiest thing I've ever heard. When you think about it, that's what a lot of people's way of saying it, or that's their argument, that you gave your consent upon being born in this country. Okay, whatever. Try and use that for any other justification, and let's see how well that goes. Okay, so get a good grasp on this concept. Hold on, let me get some water. Alright, so get a good grasp on this concept. I want you to go ahead and think about this for a second. You got to understand that taking from one person by force and giving it to somebody else is theft. That's stealing. That's wrong, okay? That is bad. You don't take away from people to give to other people. I don't care how noble your cause is. I don't care the reason, and you shouldn't either. Okay, if Joe robs Billy, and the reason he does it is because there's some orphans down the street that need money, okay, and he decides to rob them and take all his stuff in the middle of the night, and he gives it to the orphan, that good deed doesn't mean jack squat. And I'll tell you why. Because he did evil to get to that point. We don't do bad things and dishonest things and lie and steal and cheat to get to our goals. If you want to be helpful, you want to do the right thing, you want to donate, you want to help people, you do it through voluntary cooperation. That swings us right back to the first principle I talked about earlier. So we need to get on to that. That's a big thing. You got to understand that. We don't take things from people without their permission. All right? That's common sense, but somehow our government don't get it. Like I said, the intention you have for stealing is irrelevant. It's not about your intention, okay? There's no justification. A thief is a thief. It doesn't matter if you're in a business suit or in rags, you're still a thief. When would you consider stealing from your neighbor acceptable? Think about that for a second. When is it okay to violate somebody else's prosperity? Never. It's never okay, because you wouldn't like it, okay? How would you like it, too, if they used it on something you didn't agree with? What if you really don't like war? They got that money and sent it off to cause a war and kill a bunch of innocent people. All right? That's not right. We don't do that. We don't steal people's money and then use it on stuff that we know they don't like either. We should have, democracy on that point, in a way, too, because it's not fair. Like I said, voluntary cooperation when it comes down to that kind of stuff. Organized stealing for the greater good is no better. That's what I'm trying to get to you guys. Whether done through an organization, gang, or government, especially if you're outsourcing, okay, so you think about it. Essentially, you're outsourcing stealing. You're outsourcing theft to a third party to commit on your behalf. This power tends to corrupt. You give somebody the ability, a third party, the ability to steal legally. I say in quotations, legally. It's not. We shouldn't make it legal. Just because it's legal doesn't make it right. Okay. So, anyways, you do this. You tend to have a third party that becomes very corrupt. In this case, you look at government as a third party. You're outsourcing thievery. It's crime. Okay? It's legalized crime. So, you see where government gets its power, okay, and it goes on a trip because they're the only ones who have a monopoly on force. They're the only company, okay, quote unquote. I say company because the government does act like a company in a way. They're the only ones who can use force. They're the only people who can come, and if you decide to say no and you don't do what they say, they can force you to comply by putting you in jail or by using violence against you. That's pretty wrong when you think about it too. All right, just want you to get that. I think that's it's kind of a violation of the rights, and they're the only ones that are allowed to do that as well. Okay, like I said, if you don't comply, they can put you in the prison system, make money off you that way by the forced labor that they have. And the way I see it is, you got to remember, guys, our country is beautiful. Our country is a great thing. We should love our country, and we should be patriotic for our country. But our government, if left unchecked, is very dangerous, and it becomes a bad thing. And that's why we can't leave it unchecked. We got to constantly question our government. We got to reform it, and every once in a while, we got to have a revolution. Now, the word revolution, I'm not talking about violence. This isn't about physical aggression. Revolution is through education, guys. All right, from studying, from reading, from spreading the word, through press, those types of things, from real journalism. That's the kind of revolution that we need in this country, not through violence. So when you hear that word and somebody saying, yeah, violence, anarchy, Molotov cocktails, no, we can't do that. That's not how this works. We're no better than them if that's how we want to do things. The people who corrupt and destroy this country, we're the same damn thing if we want to go ahead and do violent things to attain our goals. So, government can become a tyranny real quick, and we got to constantly monitor it and revise it to make sure it doesn't become that way. And we need to go ahead and require vigilant citizens that constantly go ahead and read into politics and pay attention to what's happening in Congress and Senate and the executive branch. So, pay attention, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You guys need to get involved. All right, read. Listen. Don't just settle for what things are. We need to get involved. Okay. That's pretty much it for this video. I just want to get you, I said basics of liberty, in my opinion. This is not everything, but here's a little bit of what I want to share for you guys. So if you like it, go ahead and like it, share it, love it, whatever. If you hate it, say so. I like the feedback. I love feedback because it allows me to be a better speaker, allows me to go ahead and make the video more for you guys. So go ahead and give me some type of feedback. This is Tom from Geared Towards Liberty, and I'm out.